loose. I'm changing up. Andy Reid's first year in Kansas City was 2013. That was a Peyton Manning record-setting year with the Broncos. I'm going to say my friend John Fox.
Oh, my God, he got it right. Oh, my God, it's John Fox.
Foxy!
That is unbelievable. I did not think.
He told me I was going to say Jason Garrett or Tom Coughlin, but then he messed up. This is on you.
He was so sure that Graziano had no shot at that one whatsoever. The devastation in the face of Hembo. Meanwhile, to the Chiefs we go. They've lost only one game this season. Now they have the opportunity to avenge that. Sunday night, Kansas City coming off a bye. Andy Reid, 18-3, coming off a bye during his head coaching career. And so let's take a look at the latest projections to win the AFC. Our analytics give the Chiefs a 50% chance. They have as good a chance as the rest of the field combined to make it to the Super Bowl. They began the season with a 36% chance to win the conference. So despite the fact that we have an unbeaten team in the AFC, the Chiefs are a prohibitive favorite. So we're going to go around the group here. I will start with Dominique. Chiefs or the field? If you had to bet that palatial estate of yours there in our nation's capital, either Kansas City or every other team in the AFC to make it to the Super Bowl, which way do you go?
Give me the Chiefs. You remember this offseason when Patrick Mahomes tweeted out a picture or emoji of taking notes because y'all were shortchanging him? Yeah, he's serious about it this year. And last year they won the Super Bowl with 3 consecutive comebacks that were the next one was more improbable than the one before that. So I can't imagine they're going to face as difficult a battle this year in the playoffs. But they do need somebody to knock off those Steelers. They need somebody to knock off the Steelers so they can get that first round bye because there's only one this year. But if I have to trust one team, I'm trusting Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy, and the greatest quarterback any of us have ever seen, Patrick Mahomes.
Let me make sure that we're understanding the way you're saying that. You don't mean someone needs to knock off the Steelers for them in the playoffs. You mean they need to be the 1 seed.
Right. The Steelers right now are undefeated. The Chiefs only have 1 loss. And right now the Steelers have the inside track on that 1 seed. This year with 7 playoff teams, only 1 team has the bye. Last year, the Chiefs got really fortunate because the Miami Dolphins knocked off the Patriots, which allowed the Chiefs to jump up into that 2nd seed and get the first round bye. I think the Dolphins won the first round of the playoffs for the Chiefs last year, and they might need some help, somebody helping them do it again this season.
Yes, each of the last 14 teams to make the Super Bowl, both on each side since 2013, had a bye. Now, that's going to be harder to do now because only 1 team gets them instead of 2. RC, same question to you. Chiefs or the field in the AFC?
You know, I'm taking the Chiefs. Chiefs have remained at the top of my rankings because I think that they're the best team. At the beginning of the season, they were the best team, and nothing says that they can't actually just turn it on whenever they want to, and they've only lost 1 game this season. When Pac wrote Me Against the World, when he was leaning on the wall, he was leaning on the wall because he knew he was the man. That's the same way Patrick Mahomes leaning on the wall right now. You heard Dominique say it. He was taking notes. By the way, I wasn't one of those people who doubted him in the offseason. I know that he's the best player in ball, and he plays like it. Whenever he's called upon, he's able to make the plays to win football games, and that's how you become champions. And so when it gets down to the crunch time, when it gets down to critical moments of this season, Patrick Mahomes has been there. He's seen it. Andy Reid has gotten over that hump, and I expect the Chiefs to be in the Super Bowl again this year because they started the season that good. They're playing that good right now, and other than a loss to the Raiders, which was a great game, I believe the Chiefs have shown day in, day out, week in, week out that they're the best team in football.
Quickly, before I come to Graz, did I miss a meeting? Who was doubting Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, right?
I was here every single day.
You were, Mike. You were. No. You were. You did it. You were hating on him in the offseason. It was you, and he sent out a tweet of him taking notes, and it happened, and now you fired him up, and you got an angry one. Yeah, it was the top 100.
Patrick Mahomes.
It was the top 100, Greeny.
Nothing has been further from the case.
He was going to name the MVP award after him last week.
That's exactly right. I have already said they should rename the MVP award the Patrick Mahomes Award and just give it to the next most valuable person. If he can send out any emoji he wants. Graziano, Chiefs of the field.
Now I'm going to feel like the idiot because I'm taking the field because I don't think these guys understand the question. It's not about which is the best team. It's about what's the most probable thing to happen. You got to make a bet. They need Pittsburgh to lose one, maybe 2 games if they're going to get that 1 seed, which, as Dominique points out, they absolutely need to get. If
they don't need to get it.
To bet today.
That's what I disagree with.
If you have to bet today, you would have to take the
I think
field.
they get there even if they have to play the extra game.
But you just said 14 straight teams made the Super Bowl. How to buy?
I know.
It matters.
Nothing grows all the way to the sky. Neek, final thought. Go ahead.
Now.
No, I understood the question. We were right, and not only were we right in our emotional reactions, the analytics said 50-50. That's a coin toss. So don't act like you outsmarted us, Dan. Like you didn't figure it out. Like everyone agrees with us. You're the one that's taking the foolish position.
You said if I got to trust one team, it's the Chiefs. That wasn't the question.
How in the world did I disrespect Patrick Mahomes? All right, we're never
it.
going to settle these arguments here. Let's get to college, where they have their own problems to figure out. On Saturday, Wisconsin handed Michigan its worst loss of the Jim Harbaugh era, a 49-11 beatdown in Ann Arbor. Yesterday, Harbaugh was asked about his team's mentality as it looks to end a 3-game losing streak.
We're not going to slow down. We're never going to stop, and it's not going to feel sorry for ourselves. And I don't think there's anything to be embarrassed about. You just keep pushing forward, and there's some people think athletic greatness is defined by perfection. It's not. It's defined by overcoming obstacles and overcoming adversity.
All right, so that's what he said. David with us this morning, and Mr. Feinbaum joins us here as well. But David, I've not really had a chance to talk to you about this, so I'd like to hear your perspective. As you listen to Harbaugh there and the things that he's saying and watch his team play, what are your thoughts?
First of all, I've never been and I never will be a fire the coach guy. It's just not who I am and what I am. But I think when you look at this situation and you look at Harbaugh, like the recruiting classes have been solid. We were debating before this season started, can Jim Harbaugh beat Ohio State? Like that's what he has to do. He has to beat Ohio State to get over the hump. Now we're saying, can Michigan beat Indiana? I mean, a lot has changed, and you can put blame wherever you want to put blame, but something's not right. Offensively, they don't look good. Defensively, they look a mess, by the way. They want to continue to be stubborn and play more man coverage than almost anybody in the country, and they can continue to get abused for it. So, listen, it's not going well, and something I think at this point has to change. And I don't know if it's a disconnect with Jim Harbaugh, because he's a little bit quirky, and he's a little bit different, and he's a lot more old school. So I don't know if he's not relating to the kids. I don't know what's going on, but something obviously has gone really wrong in Ann Arbor, and something needs to change.
And something needs to happen quickly, Paul, because his contract is up at the end of next season. No college coach is ever going to go into the final year of his deal. He'll never be able to recruit anybody. So they either have to extend it or the two sides have to part at the end of this year. What do you expect to happen?
Well, I expect him to depart, Greeny, because there's no path forward. You heard Jim Harbaugh there. Not only is he an average coach, he's delusional. That makes no sense whatsoever, what he said. That team is getting embarrassed every single week. They're being humiliated. This program is a laughingstock, a punchline. And for Jim Harbaugh to come forward and say such ridiculous and idiotic statements, to me, defies imagination. And it shows why he's having so much trouble. There is a disconnect. There's a disconnect between Jim Harbaugh and reality.
Go ahead, David.
Well, maybe he should just come on and say, hey, you know what, I suck and my team sucks and we should just quit the season. I mean, it's also, you don't do that either. You got to find some kind of way, and you got to keep showing up until they make a change or until they do something. He is in a tough spot. You're right, Greeny. Put him in last year. There's not very many coaches in college football that get to the second to last year of their contract, and they talked about an extension, and then, no, we're not going to do the extension, and, the pandemic happened, and it's a mess. And obviously there's just not, I don't know how you answer those questions because it's not in his control now. All he can do is try to do the best he can do. It's a tough spot, man, until changes are made.
And so if changes are made, Paul, if your projection is right, and I agree with you,